So I'll let you tell the viewers, because I didn't tell anybody yet, what was the promise that you were given that took 8 years to fulfill?
Okay, so although I feel like the whole cycle of God speaking something is like He says something and then you're like, oh great, it's right now. Yes, I can't wait. And then yes, you wait and wait and wait. And then however long it is on the other side, then all of a sudden you get the manifestation of it. So what you're referring to is my husband. And that whole process of God saying this man is your husband and it being, I think it was about 6 years between the time God said that's your husband and we were actually walking down the aisle.
Wow, I thought it was 8 years. My bad.
Yeah, well, we had known each other by that point. We had known each other for about 8 years.
Right.
But it was 6 years between me getting that revelation and it actually coming to pass.
Whew.
Yeah.
Child, I mean, when I think about it, like, you know, I love to crack jokes and I'm a jokester and everything. So I could say a lot of ha-ha jokes about, like, child, I would have jumped off that ship a long time ago. With both, I would have dove out.
And you were trying to get me off that ship too. You're like, girl, maybe this is not done this to you. Maybe you need to move on. Maybe you need to see something
It's the
else.
truth.
But I kept saying, Kelly, I know what God said. I know He said this. I know He said that's my husband. So I didn't feel released to do anything else.
I'm still blown away by that. You know, just if I heard it from somebody else, I would be blown away. But I was there. I watched it. I was there when he used to give us the ride, and it was another girl that was riding with him. That it was his boo at first.
Which I didn't even remember that. You remember that?
Girl, he had another boo in the whip. He was with his other boo.
Oh my
He used to give us rides to church. And we were in the back seat. I remember her name, but I ain't even gonna say her name.
Okay.
But so we went from that to when you walk down the aisle, I was there for that too. I was there with a bridesmaid dress on. So I was there, but it's still hard for me to grasp the concept that that really happened. And
Wow.
I witnessed it. But if you would have told me on the outside, I would be like, nah.
That doesn't
So how did you get through that process? Like,
Yeah.
first of all, let's say because you brought it up, like you said, I told you at some point, because I was reading a sophisticated book that's called He's Just Not That Into You. So
And you're not the only one that was reading that book back then, and you're not the only person that said that. And I think I read the book and was like, well, maybe that's true, and maybe, yeah, but anyway, go ahead.
well, so how did you survive all the naysayers and people like me who said, maybe he's just not that into you? How did you keep fighting that for 6 years?
Yeah. Honestly, I'm just the type of person where when God speaks to me, I know His voice. I know it, and I know what I have to do, regardless of how I feel, regardless of what I think, regardless of what I prefer, regardless of what the circumstance looks like. I know that's what He said, and I guess at some point I developed this groundedness, you know, and I kept asking for signs too. Because listen, when you're confused and when you're like, is this really you, God? I don't know. Like nothing is lining up with what you're telling me. You know, for me, I just start asking for signs like, can you confirm it? Either way, can you either let me know that this is it or not it? And each time I put that fleece out, He responded in these really miraculous ways to let me know, hold on.
Were you acting inside the entire 6 years? Because
No. I mean, there were just a few times when I did, like a few times when I just felt like this is just too hard for me. You know, I would rather, like you said at the beginning, I would rather give it up. I'd rather, it would be easier for me to let it go than it is to hold on and not know when it's going to manifest, when it's going to happen, what this whole process is. It's easier to just give it up. And that's really, there came a point where that's really what I wanted to do. And that was the point where I was like, God, if this is truly you, please. And I was really specific in my spirit about what I wanted him to do that particular day. And that's exactly what he did. And so I knew without a shadow of a doubt, I have to just stand. And that's it.
Now, I wasn't really planning to ask you this, but I'm wondering if you want to share with us any of the signs he gave you or specific things he showed you. You don't have to. I know that's personal, but since you had brought it up, it might be nice.
Well, yeah. I mean, I got this prophetic word that before I moved to California, that we would be back together. Now, we were broken up for 2 years by this point, and now I'm actually about to go to California. Like, oh my gosh, like there's this whole process and everything, and I got this word about it, and then suddenly I get cast in this show in California. So I'm like, wow, okay, that's manifesting. But God gave me this promise that before I left, I was going to be back together with my boyfriend. And there was no sign of that. We hadn't seen each other for months. We hadn't spoken in months. And that was kind of it. And then all of a sudden, it was my last day in town. It was my very, very last day in town before I was fully moving before I was going to go out there to do the show to California. And I was sitting in service. Hello. Hi. I don't need cleaning today. No,
Thank you. You can come back a little later for the cleaning. Oh.
No. I don't need cleaning. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. You can send someone. Hello.
Bye. I don't need anything. Okay, thank you. Thank you. No problem.
Well, that's okay. I got to practice. I was practicing while you was doing it. I pretended that they was knocking on my door. I told them they could come back a little
Oh,
later.
you're like, come on in.
Yeah, girl, come on in. I've been waiting for you. Thank you. Can you bring some food?
I have not served on the door. No, sir. Okay. No, but so I'm about to go. So now I'm about to leave to go to do the show, and I said, God, I don't know. Like now I'm about to leave to go do this show, and I thought you told me that before I moved. And I said, just give me a sign. I said, if you want me to hold on to this thing, let me see him today. I had not seen him in months, had not spoken to him in months. And I said, let me lay eyes on him today. And literally, I was with some of my girlfriends in Brooklyn. We were walking into a parking lot. And all of a sudden, one of my girlfriends called out, Elvis! And I turned around, and who was walking across the street, walking in our direction? We were walking away from that direction, and he was coming into that direction for him. And I almost passed out. And I was like, all right, well, I guess I got my answer.
Wow.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that fast forward like maybe 4 months, when I actually came back to New York to pack my things and move them for good, the day before I was moving officially was when we got back together. And he showed up on my grandparents' doorstep in Washington, D.C. We had the same experience. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the day I'm leaving now. Like, I'm for real moving now. Where are you guys? And then it was literally the day before. So sometimes I feel like God will also like press things to the end just to see. And I have so many examples like that. My house. I mean, just so many things where it's sort of trying to teach you this lesson of, do you understand that this is me and not you? Like, do you understand that I'm so in control that even if it's at the 23rd and a half hour, I can still manifest something.
Wow.
Which is another level of faith, and, but I feel like when he comes through like that at different times, the goal is so that we can remember what he did and actually, keep that in our heart for the next time, and the next time that we're required to believe something, that hopefully it'll easier for us to trust him. And we all have a story, right? We all have, right, faith, right? We all have these different aspects of our lives that we've been through or gone through that we know without a shadow of a doubt, like, God did that. God did that. But yet somehow we forget, somehow, I don't know why, but somehow we just forget that the same God who did that can do this, can do what's about to come around the corner.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Can you think of, well, I know you said that, you asked for signs, but how did you stay strong during that 6 years? What did you do with yourself during that time? I'm curious, was he dating that you know of, or were you dating? And if not, what did you do with yourself while you were waiting for God?
Yeah. You know what? With me, I never felt a release to date, because it was like, that's my husband. And so even people like, oh, let me hook you up with such and such, or let me fix you up on a date, or you need to get past him, so, etc. I just felt in my spirit like, I don't need to be doing all these ancillary things and talking to other people and all that stuff, because that's not the plan. That's not what God said. So why am I going to get involved with other people? That was number one. Number two, one of my dear friends said something, because at first I was just obsessing over it. Like, oh my gosh, well, I need to prepare to be a wife, and everything I do needs to be about preparing to be a wife, because God said I'm going to marry this man and all this stuff. And I was there for a while, and then one of my girlfriends was like, listen, I don't know if y'all going to get back together if you're not. I don't know. But one thing I do know is, if that's God's will, you get back together, then you will. In the meantime, there are other things with your career that God is clearly doing in your life. And you need to focus on those things. And in the event that he brings this relationship back around again, you will have sustained the faith. But in the meantime, don't obsess over what you don't have, but rather get ready for and focus on what God is clearly doing in your life right now in this season.
Wow.
And that advice was immeasurable for me. That's what I did, and that honestly was a real breakthrough for me.
So basically, in summary, could you say that you kind of struggled at first, but then at some... Oh, yeah. How long do you think you might have struggled with the... Because I know, people...
Well, I struggled the whole time. It was just about going back and forth. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you struggle, but then you try to remember where you should be, right? It's like, so when you start getting out of alignment, you just start remembering, like, oh, wait. This is where I'm supposed to be. This is what I'm supposed to be focusing on. This is what season this is. And let me just stay grounded in this, right? Until God chooses to do something else, and until God chooses to move in another way. So yeah, the struggle is real, but it's that constant reminder of, wait a minute, settle my spirit, this is where I'm supposed to be. And then finding joy in where you are versus constantly wanting to be in another place. I feel like that's key, because we're constantly, even when we set our goals and we set our intentions and our ambitions and all these different things, a lot of times it's constantly outside of where we are. And so a lot of times we forget to find joy in the present, to find joy in it, and happiness in it, and contentment in it, until that changes. Like, we can work toward other things. Like, we're alive, we should work toward other things, but our whole happiness should not be wrapped up in when we get there, because the truth is, there's never a there. There keeps moving, because you get there, and then you're like, wait, this isn't fulfilling, and then you keep going, and it's like, wait, this isn't enough, and then you keep going. There is no there. So where you are, and even think about it, where you are right now was the there from 2 years ago, and 5 years ago, and 10 years ago, and now you're there. So I really a proponent of like finding your peace and finding your joy and finding your happiness right now, so that everything else is just icing on the cake. Versus you have to wait to be happy and wait to be fulfilled and wait to have peace.
That's excellent. That's excellent. I knew you would, give us some good words and some good. And I appreciate your transparency and your honesty that, wow, even though I did do it, I did have the faith, it was still a struggle. It was still hard. I still wrestled with it. I'm wondering for myself, because, I try to look at myself in those shoes, and I have had moments. I actually have a moment right now where, you heard a promise, but you start questioning if you heard it or not, if you're making up things, if you heard from the right person, you know what I'm saying, or if you need to take matters in your own hands or not. But did you struggle with low self-worth or feelings of rejection, or did you internalize any of those things during that time?
Right. I definitely think
rejection.
Struggled at the time with why not? Because he broke up with me. So it was like, what's wrong with me? Why am I not enough? Or why couldn't we work it out? Or why, these different things. And even though when you're in a relationship and a man is like, it's not you, it's me, right? We don't believe that. No one believes that. Even though it's just whatever, you just come up with an excuse to break up with me. But the funny thing is, amen, hey y'all, amen. The funny thing is though that afterward, a lot of my friends were like, girl, you need to thank your lucky stars. And even Kelvin said to me back then, he was like, do you know how many men drag women through the mud while they're trying to mature and become, just because they don't want to let the woman go. So she goes through a nightmare with a man who's not who he's fully supposed to be yet, but doesn't want to let this woman go and fly and soar and be her own person. And so he drags her through the mud that he's in until he finally finds himself, or doesn't. And he was like, Edwina, I value you too much. I won't do that to you. And if that means releasing you in order to prevent you from going through that, that's what I'm willing to do. And so at the time, I didn't realize that was such an act of love. For me, it was like, no, I'll do it. I didn't realize that saying, I need time to work on myself so I can be a better man, that is actually a gift. Wow. Yeah. And it took other friends of mine who had been married, because at that time, of course, I had not been married, who had been married and who had been in awful relationships and who had experienced the break, just the breaking of being with someone that was just not.
Oh, you mean friends like me?
To really realize that is a gift in you. You don't realize it now, but God is sparing you and He is sparing you. And in the right time, all of what God's plan is for your life, it will manifest just in the right time.
So, in summary, what looked like a delay, or what looked like denial, or what looked like could have been rejection, was really for your protection.
Exactly.
Wow, that's a word.
1,000%.
That is a word.
1,000%. And I'm sorry, you guys, can you see this? First of all, look at this incredible view.
Wow.
This is my hotel room here in Chicago, but let me turn up the light. I love this view. But I actually have to get to set, and they're picking me up in so they're about to pick me up, and I can't be late, but I wonder if maybe we can hop back on, I don't know, maybe when I'm in the car, or maybe when I get to into set, but I'll probably have to go like right into
No, I understand. I appreciate you taking out the time today. I would love to have you back another time. Maybe we could do another recap, or you could, share something else, because you've been such a spiritual mentor to me for all these years. So, numerous stories like this one where God has used you to just show up and show out. So,
thank you. And thank you guys for being on here. I love
thank you guys so much.
I'm so glad you were blessed. I'm so glad. I love you back.
Before you go, I have a couple of people that have asked me, when is Loving You Is Wrong coming back? They like,
oh my gosh. Everybody's asking. I'm going to do a post, you guys. But I will say it's very, 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 very soon. And they're gonna do a formal announcement. From what I understand, they're gonna do a formal announcement January.
Okay.
But
thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
I love you to pieces. I love you to life.
Too. Love you
and
guys.
thank you for being who you are, and thank you for joining